Hello, welcome to Inner Thoughts of a Black Woman. As you guys seen by the title and as you guys see by your screen, today we're going to be talking about colorism. But before we get into that, I want to explain what is colorism. So colorism is prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Well, many of you may have heard this children's rhyme. It's if you're black, stay back. If you're brown, stick around. If you're yellow, you're mellow. If you're white, you're all right, right? And that plays into the historical part of America and where colorism has derived from. Colorism basically arrived from slavery, colonization. A lot of the times the slave masters gave preferential treatment to lighter skinned slaves, and then darker skinned slaves had to stay in the fields. Specifically for this video, I want to talk about the present. I want to talk about how historically how colorism has affected us today. You know, how people view darker skin as to be disgusting, dirty, angry, masculine, but lighter skin is always seen as more attractive, softer, intelligent. I want to see how it has affected our media. How has it affected black men and black women's relationships? How has it affected darker skinned black women mentally? You know, where do we see it at on TV and movies? And
you guys have a preference?
I do prefer melanated women. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Surprising.
Why is that surprising?
That's surprising?
Yeah.
Why?
Because dark men usually like light women, and you know their mothers be dark, and they be like, I don't want no dark girl. They go have a baby with somebody who's from Austria because they want their baby to be, you know, foreign or have certain color eyes or skin or have a certain hair texture. Like, I don't want to have a baby with a black woman. So
no, that's fair. Like, I'm not gonna discount that. I do know black men that do act like that.
I don't really date black girls. It's not because like most black girls are like annoying, how to put this, ratchet, and they don't know how to like be reserved. You're like the complete opposite.
You are not the stereotype. You are not the stereotype.
You are not the same. That's awesome.
I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. Man. We ain't night riders.
Nah, so bro, I'm good.
You know, sometimes if they're, you know, red bone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Preference is them coming on there and saying, hey, I don't date black women. That's just not what I'm attracted to. But when you come out and say that most black women, are ratchet, ghetto, not well spoken, annoying, bonquishas, laquishas, that's when it leaves preference and goes.
one of the things that I'm having a hard time trying to grapple and understand is the difference between colorism and preference. Now, some people may say, like, I prefer lighter skinned women, which is fine. But why do you prefer lighter skinned women? Is it because you don't like dark skinned women because they're too dark and you don't want dark kids? That's colorist. I just don't understand. Like, I think the underlying reason behind your preference has something to do with colorism, no? Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree, or tell me your opinion on it. This is exactly why a lot of black men like white women. I truly believe that a lot of black men aren't really attracted to white women. They're attracted to the privilege that she has, and that they think that by being with this woman that they're going to receive said privilege too. So I think one of the main things that colorism has taught me as an activist is that I don't even think that it's the lighter skin that black men like. I think that the lighter skin attributes to closeness to whiteness, and the standard of beauty in America is white. So majority of the times when we see dark-skinned women in media and or television, it's usually she's portraying like this attitudinal. She's usually portraying like the nanny or the help, or, you know, which is also known as the mammy caricature. She's also playing this powerful, strong role where like she's, you know, defending and covering and protecting men or women, everybody. And then lastly, she's often always played as this very like promiscuous sexual being who just throws herself at people or uses something sexual to get something in return. Or furthermore, when we see many black television shows or black movies and it's portraying a black woman or a black girl, majority of the time they would put in a lighter skinned black woman or a biracial black woman to play a black role. And for example, like they use Zendaya for the TV show Casey Undercover, or they use Yara Shahidi for the show on Grownish to play a black woman. In reality, these are two biracial women playing the role of a black person. I know many people are gonna say, well, Yara Shahidi and Zendaya are black women. In reality, sure, okay, maybe they identify as black. But when I look at Yara Shahidi and when I look at Zendaya, I don't see myself. I don't see the representation that I'll see from my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have the hair texture like mine. So I don't see that as representation for black women. In reality, when I see representation for black women, I think of Viola Davis or Lupita Nyong'o or so. Lastly, I want to speak to a lot of black women. Not all black women, but a lot of them. Because a lot of black women say this and they don't realize how damaging it is in the reverse form, okay? I have heard a lot of black women say, I can't date a lighter skinned black man because they look soft. I can only date a dark skinned black man because they look more masculine. The reverse of that is what? The reverse of that is saying lighter skinned black women are softer and darker skinned black women are more masculine. By you saying that, you're also implying the reverse form. Not a lot of black women understand what they're doing, but just by that statement alone, you're also being a colorist. What you're saying is also a colorist statement. Just like when black men say, I can't date a dark skinned woman because they're too masculine, you in return is saying, I can't date a light skinned man because they're too soft. All of it is colorist, and we really need to stop.